Hey guys, what is up? I'm Roman, I'm coming at you with another video, and today we go over the camera basics. Alright, so I've got a lot of questions about how to use a camera. Should I have it on auto, manual, what should be my settings, for which situations, if it's on manual. And so today we're going to find out about that, and to start us off, number one, we're going to talk about shutter speed. Shutter speed controls how fast that your shutter actually moves. So a fast shutter speed is like 1/125th of a second and higher. A slow shutter speed is like 1/60th of a second and much lower. And depending on your shutter speed is it either stops motion or it blurs motion. So like a fast shutter speed will look like this, and then a slow shutter speed will look like this. So that's what a shutter speed does, and you also use that to control the amount of light. So with shutter speed, you have a fast shutter speed, which is going to let a lot less light in, as opposed to a slow shutter speed, which will let a whole lot of light in depending on how slow it is. Next up, we have the aperture, which is the size of the hole that is in your lens. And it can either be really big or really small depending on what settings you have it on. And there's also different lenses that have different settings, like some lenses can get a lot bigger or faster, as we say in the world of photography, which means that it can open up a lot wider. This lens I'm using right now, it's a 1.8, which is where you're getting all this blurry, nice background from, but they have them all the way down to 1, which the lower the number, the bigger the hole in the lens. The smaller the number, like f11, f16, f22, is the smaller the hole, which means you get more of a depth of field. You'll be able to see everything in focus, is where you use a lot in landscapes and stuff like that, or if you're just that artistic style. But most of the time we shoot around like 2.8 to 3.5, somewhere around in there, which is going to give you a nice blurry background like we have here. Or you can shoot wide open, as we call it, which is the widest that your lens will go, which mine goes to 1.8. is amazing because it has this beautiful blurry background that a lot of people try to achieve. Next we have your ISO, and as Peter McKinnon said, it's like adding fake light to your camera, because it is the sensitivity of your actual image sensor in your camera, and the higher the number of ISO means the more sensitive it is to light. So like a number of 6400 is going to be super sensitive to light, as opposed to a number like 100. But the more sensitive it is to light, the less quality of the picture you're going to get. So like I usually shoot at ISO 100 to 400 depending on the light quality and how bright it is that I am shooting in. And that gives you a really good quality image. But if you're upwards of like 1200, 6400, stuff like that, and it's going to be really high up there, your image is super sensitive light, it's going to give you a nasty, grainy, noisy image, which is not what you want at all. So now that you know all this, you're probably wondering what settings to use. But see, that's the thing, it's situational. You could be in a really dark environment like a gymnasium or something like that, and you're going to have to bump your ISO up so that way you can get a fast shutter speed, so that way, which is what the shutter speed does. So doing all that, you're going to open your aperture up all the way, and then you're going to make a fast shutter speed, and you're going to turn your ISO up in a gymnasium. But if you're outside and you want a nice shallow depth of field, you're going to have to crank your shutter speed way up and turn your ISO almost all the way down and still have your lens wide open. But if you're shooting something like a landscape where you want so much depth of field to where you can see everything, to where there's no blurriness in it, then you're going to slow your shutter speed down, probably have to put it on a tripod, because you don't want your ISO really high, especially if it's during the day. You won't need it super high. So you're going to have an ISO somewhere like 400, and your shutter speed is going to be really low, so you're not going to be able to handhold it. And then your aperture is going to be set to like 8, 11, somewhere around in there, to where it's got that nice depth of field to where you can see everything in focus. So I hope that you enjoyed that video. I hope that you'll tune in next week, Friday, which is when I'll be uploading. I'm going to try and upload once a week. So if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. Also, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you guys next week.